a tutorial for, well, not tutorial, I guess, for new players on different things they can do whenever they start the game. Some things a little better than others. Start a new game. So we'll start off, show you all the defaults first, and some of the things that I would suggest maybe altering a bit, especially when you first start playing. Unless you already have friends or buddies that are playing with you, this will give you a good glimpse into what you're going to be needing. So we'll just put a new game title in here. The game world, you can choose random or pre-built stuff that's already in here. My suggestion would be to just go with the first one that they give you here. It's a fairly straightforward gameplay scenario. Now, if you're just learning, you're by yourself, you don't want anybody bugging you, keep your server offline. That way you don't have to worry about anybody coming into your game. If you do have friends that you want to come in and give you some tips or tricks or to be able to help show you some of the things that you do, turn it online. You can literally turn it to friends only, so only your friends can see you. Or you can just put it as not listed and give them the information that they need to be able to find you. I usually only go to the friends only. It makes it a lot easier to find you if you do have friends coming on. And then of course however many players you want. 16 players is the max, 2 players is the minimum if you're doing multiplayer. I do have a few friends that play with me, but as this is kind of a thing for new players and stuff, I'm going to do this for offline, so that I will be the only one in this world and the only one has access to it. Again, default adventurer. I would go ahead and go down to scavenger. There's really not a huge difference between the two. Scavenger is the easiest gameplay mode. It will give you the best chances, early survival, and being able to learn. And at any time as you're going, you can change this whenever you continue your game. You can change your settings according to your gameplay and how well you're actually doing. So we'll start this off with scavenger. Our XP multiplier at 100%, 24-hour cycle. I'm going to change to 120 minutes. That gives us 2 hours per day to really get to understand what we're doing and to be able to do those things as we're learning. Again, this is one of those settings that you can change after you get to know what you're doing better. I default 60 minutes. It's still not bad for gameplay, but we're going to do the 120 minutes and the daylight length at 18 hours. Basic is the blood moon frequency is 7 days. This is a real big part of the game, but some people really don't like it. I mean, it's a huge battle every 7 days for survival. But we're going to go ahead and leave that on at 7 days. That'll actually take a couple of streams to actually make it that far. And in the meantime, I'll show you a kind of minimalistic horde base that we can make as we get closer to that. Blood Moon range. I don't usually ever change this, though you can. It just gives you the option of a longer uh, possible time in between your blood moons, and that's just kind of a random setting. It can go from 0 days up to 30, or sorry, 20 days now. I usually just go ahead and leave it at, we're going to do it every 7 days. Have some fun, kill some zombies. This will tell you in the morning about 8 o'clock that your day will turn red and tell you that this is blood moon. Blood moon count at 8 enemies. This is how many that will spawn at any one point in time as the blood moon's going. 8's not a bad number. The one thing I probably would change on this is your zombie night speed here. I would put it down to a run. As the first few nights you're not going to be really conversant with everything that's going on, and it gives you a little bit of time to run away. Now the feral speeds, we'll discuss those when we see those zombies. You usually don't get those in the very first levels. Leave the zombie feral sense off. That's just the higher it is, the better they can sense you. Airdrops, I leave those on every 3 days. If you want to make it tougher, you can do them to 7 days. If you want to make it easier for you, you can do it every day. I leave it to every 3 days after probably about your first 15 or 18 days. The airdrops are going to be nice, but they won't actually give you as much as they will in the first few drops. Your advanced settings here, this is just your basic stuff that happens. Now I would suggest on your drop on death that you don't drop everything. Beginning, you can go to nothing, which means that you'll keep everything that you have on you. As you continue to get better, you continue to enjoy the game, make it a little bit harder. You can have it where it drops everything on your tool belt. You have everything that drops in your backpack, but you keep your tool belt items. Makes it a little bit easier to get back to your backpack. Some people like being able to drop their backpack or tool belt for the simple reason that you can actually spawn near it. So if you are at a very far POI away from your base, you can spawn near it, so that you're not having to travel all the distance to try and get it back. Depends on how hard you want the game to be. In the beginning, I'm going to go ahead and put it down as to nothing. Again, this is one of those options that you can change as you continue your game. Most of the rest of this is pretty straightforward. Your daily quest progression limit. Now again, this depends on how hard you want to make it. The quest help give you some basic items that will help you in the beginning. The quest items aren't all as great as they used to be, but they are still very helpful in the beginning. I would suggest taking this up to 6. You only get 5 quests for tier 1. Once you hit tier 2, then you'll have 10 quests available per day, and this will limit you to being able to do 6 of those. We're not going to worry about multiplayer because we're not going to have multiplayer turned on. So this is a good starting thing for new players, and you can just get right in and jump in and see what you're doing. Now if you want to change your game up, you can make a new random world, and this just gives you more options as to what you want to do. If you're finding that it's easier, or you want more pine forest because that's what you like, the burnt forest, desert, snow, the wasteland always starts off a little bit bigger than the rest of them. Again, this is more towards play style than anything else. to make the game either harder or easier, depending on challenges you may accept or challenges you want to do for yourself. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to our Nazva's Gain, and we'll get started.